Hey guys, this is Josh. I'm sorry that the lighting is not that good, but you know, best I can bring it. So, actually gonna post this on the Mortal Kombat X page. Um, this is actually on YouTube, but I don't want to put this on YouTube, but I'm gonna also share it on the Mortal Kombat X page so people can watch it. So, this whole video is gonna be about the storyline, the plot, the try to get as in depth as I can about the whole story and what I thought about it. So here we go. So, um, I really, you know, I did a review on it, but I want to do a more context or better review because the game came out. I totally forgot when the game came out. I really did. Um, I think it was in the beginning of April. I just totally just forget. But it's almost been a month since the game is released. I believe it's a month. But I think it was April 24th or something like that. That man, like I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy this game. I'm the type of gamer who respects other gamers, who doesn't trash talk, unless it's my brother, sort of. But I don't really trash talk people who I don't know, or if I'm really friends with them, I'll mess with them and like talk trash, but not too far. But I'm actually the guy who's been congratulating other factions for winning. Hey, I give props to the Black Dragon, props to Lin Kuei, props to other factions, special forces for coming in third place. Because I'm that type of guy. But going back to the story, I thought in the beginning I was like, it's a really good story. It's a really great story. But it doesn't. You can't compare it to Mortal Kombat 9 because Mortal Kombat 9 was such a great story. Even though a whole bunch of characters died, it was longer. It was more compelling than the other ones. Um, the thing is, with Mortal Kombat X, it could have been longer. I feel like the writers got lazy. You might disagree with me. Hey, so cool. Everyone should have opinion. I'm not gonna try to force my opinion. I'm not trying to say my opinion's right. I'm just giving my opinion. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree. That's the beauty of being a fan and giving your ideas and your thoughts about certain things like this. But I think the story could have been way better. I really did. I think the writers got lazy. I really believe the writers got lazy. Um, and I bet they're cool people, but I think they got lazy. For instance, I want to talk about some plots that could have been extended. For instance, so there's a huge leap in the timeline. Like when I hate when people like go different timelines because it's like you go through Shinnok like right after Shao Kahn. Shinnok's released, and then I guess you go 25 years later, and then now and then he gets out. But there's plot holes. There's like someone mentioned I remember earlier, and I understood is that all right, Shinnok's out, but how did he get out? Like I know in Mortal Kombat 9 those are like a projector of him, but how did he get out? They don't explain how he gets out of another realm. They really don't. They don't tell you at all. Like they miss that mark of why did Shinnok escape another realm? They don't, and you want to know how. They don't really tell you how. I know Quan Chi has his amulet in K9, but they really don't tell you how he escaped. They really don't, and that could be a huge storyline. Like they could have extended that, but they didn't. They just started a whole bunch of cutscenes saying all this, and it's mixed up. The timeline's all mixed up. They don't tell you it's 25 years later. They don't tell you if it's 10 years later. They just go out. They just all go out. Like at the beginning, you're confused. Like, all right. And then when you play the game for the first time, you're like, okay, what does this mean? What timeline are we in? There's so many back and forth, which is frustrating. But um, but the thing is that there's a couple things they could have extended. Like I like the beginning of the game, cutscene is awesome, great choreography. But the thing is that the whole Melina, how did Melina get that amulet? How did Melina get it? I know Rain was the one who retrieved it, but how? Like what happened? How did he take it from Quan Chi or whoever had it? How did he take it from them? Or no, the Elder Gods. How did Rain take that from the Elder Gods? Because I believe they gave it to the Elder Gods, right? Rain gave it to the Elder Gods. Like there could have been a huge like 6 chapters or 5 chapters of that. Like this, the writers got so lazy that they skipped that. They've been making this game for 3 years or 4 years. I think they focus more on the additional like the game modes and all that craziness, but they could have made the story even longer. I don't care. I usually don't care about the game modes. I care more about the story. But they could have made a huge 5 or 6 chapters about that. They could have. About you could have been Rain. Like they didn't do that. Like you could just made him a story character and it, not playable. I wouldn't mind that. But the huge gap between how did Rain get the amulet? And they were all talking about how the other gods have it. And how do you take it from them? And I really don't believe how Rain took it and gave it to Melina. I don't understand it. And I understand that Rain's with Melina just because after she dies, he's gonna take up the amulet. I mean, not amulet, but he's gonna be the next leader. But I just feel like they could have done that. And with the war, civil war in Outworld, they could have stretched that out too. They could have stretched that out. Melina didn't have to die in the beginning of the game. I don't. For you watching, you already completed the game. You already completed the game. I'm assuming that. But a huge timeline, man. Huge timeline of Melina you could have had. This it really wasn't a civil war. It really wasn't. You should have given a little origin story of Kotal Khan. You just threw him in the story, and apparently he's the emperor somehow. He's apparently the emperor. And how did he rise up? I think they tell you in the background story how he rose up, but they really don't give you a background history on it. But it's in the if you go to like um when you look at all your stuff you bought from the crypt, they give you a backstory on it. But I would rather see how he became up and how he became the power, and they should have introduced that in the story, but they didn't. How did they both start fighting? Why? I know they talk about Edenia and how they didn't want to save Edenia, but why? Like why? When did this start clashing? Like there's a lot of plot holes in this story, which you really want to know about, and you know. And after that, let's go past the Civil War. Civil War's over. All right, Civil War's done. She dies, whatever. And then you know, we don't know that much about like how they got into the special forces. You know about Kun Jin, about Raiden, what happened there. Um, we don't know about Liu Kang. Next part is they meet, they talk, Civil War, whatever. Couldn't be much longer. Um, and then they try to go back. I believe they try to go back and warn them. But I think they should have made Quan Chi a bad villain. They should have made him. They should have done something with him. All these villains in this game were terrible. Besides Shinnok. Shinnok did a good job until the end. I just feel like the story should have been told a lot. I think it should have been longer than Ed Boon said it was longer. It's long. The game the story mode is longer than actually MK9. No, it's not. It's not. You had 16 chapters. 16 chapters in MK9. I think you have like 12 in this. The cinematic universe, the cutscenes are longer, but no. But I just love the franchise ever since MK9. But I just feel like I think they screw up the story. I think it's good if I'm nitpicking, but they would have made it so much better the story. But the whole ending of Raiden, I don't mind. I really don't mind it. The ending fight, boss fight was terrible. I think you gotta use Cassie Cage, a newcomer, to beat Corrupted Shinnok, even though Raiden couldn't. I would see maybe you would fight Shinnok, and then you had to be, all the special forces, maybe something like that. All of them had to fight him at once, or like you would have to do something like something crazy. And it would be hard. Not Cassie Cage. And I know she was gonna be the main character, but certain stuff like that. But that's it, guys. Just want to let you know. That's why I thought of the story. I thought it could be better. There's many things I could say, but running out of time. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy the game. Tell me what you think about the story.